Clap.
Yeah, I will.
Clap.
That should be good. It echoes, which is a problem. So I have to find the first one when I do it.
I get that reverb foam.
Yeah. Is that what this is?
That's pop filter.
This is the start of our ASMR channel. Start
Well,
messing with.
Timmy did say he was going to get real into the microphone. Right?
Oh, that's fine.
I'll drink my Dr. Thunder.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Thunder ad. Hi, and welcome to Album Sharing Sessions, episode 7.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
It is a podcast where we give each other 3 albums to listen to in a time span, come back, review them, give them arbitrary scores, and kind of celebrate the differences of music taste because they're weird and different when I thought that we were going to be more similar.
A book club for music, if you will. For albums.
Yeah. Or EPs, or even like singles if we get to that. But I won't be getting to that.
That seems a little lazy. Just to assign a
Like, here's
single.
one song.
Yeah.
Today, I had brought to the group TEKKNO by Electric Callboy.
I chose No Hands by Joey Valence and Brae,
I chose Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
which we have covered Pink Floyd before, just not that album.
Yeah.
We did Wish You Were Here. What episode is this?
7.
7.
Previously on stuff, just to give you guys like a rundown of kind of like the weird range of music that we listen to.
Before we started recording the podcast.
We did Lovely Little Lonely by The Maine, The Money Store by Death Grips, Band Camino's self-titled album, and Whenever You Need Somebody by Rick Astley. In a row.
I forgot we did that one.
None of those make sense together, but there they are.
I didn't recognize the name of the album.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't either.
That's how you brought it up to us.
Yeah, I know.
We were like,
It was-
Timmy, we need an album.
I had a look.
And we all had to look it up. And as soon as I saw Rick Astley's face, I was like, he got us. Like,
Yep.
I've been Rickrolled without even hearing the song.
Yeah. Even when I was writing this down, I was just like, what is that? And I seen the little tiny name towards the end of it on the spreadsheet when I wrote it down. What's been going on?
It's been a while since we did this because you did post them like
on normal time, but physically speaking, we had more time with these albums.
Yes, I feel like we've had like a lifetime with these albums.
A whole extra week.
Yeah, I mean it's only been a week, but
really threw off my listening to these.
It throws off the routine for sure.
Or even the first week of this, I was on vacation at work too, and I was like, I'm not gonna listen to anything. I'm just gonna take a break from it all. So I didn't edit the last episode until the following week. I just let it all sit.
I listened to them all before I went to Florida for my vacation, and then didn't listen to anything in Florida, and then came back and had to like reintroduce myself to the albums.
I listened to everything yesterday.
Like for actually the first time. That's great.
That checks out.
Good job.
And I listened to both of your guys' albums like 3 times this morning.
Oh, that's good.
It's a lot. Hey, they're short, so I guess.
Yeah, they're both like 31 minutes, I think.
Yeah, do a little dance.
It's like we had a whole month, and you're like, yeah, I did it yesterday.
That's how I did my homework too. So wait till the last day.
No, but shout out to Ulysses, my brother-in-law. He came over to help me build a trampoline, and
oh, nice.
When the episode had came out a couple of days before that, and he was talking to me about the albums we did on the last one, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm 2 weeks behind you now. It's like normally it would only be a week difference, but we listened to these and reviewed them 2 weeks ago, and I'm kind of out of the loop for what we were listening to.
The whole 4 weeks instead of 3 is really like just throwing off my rhythm with these albums.
So
I mean, I listened to them all a lot, but like I don't know, it was just strange.
We're back to it now.
Go around.
Back to it. Vacations are done for a bit.
Yeah. Sadly.
Timmy, what was your
same old.
What was your life of where you had to wait until the last day to listen to these albums?
Nothing
You're
really changed.
so busy.
I've been grinding out the Battle Pass. And
Oh yeah, you
Fortnite.
guys have been big on Fortnite.
He got me in a Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm mad at it. I'm mad about it.
I know. Every time you get online, I'm like, whoa, when's he gonna play a real game?
Alan Wake is my character in it, though, so I'm kind of playing Alan Wake. And then when I play with Timmy, he has to deal with all my Alan Wake references.
I don't understand it at all.
Is your weapon a flashlight? And
No, it's I have the lamp as a. There's a lamp in Alan Wake too, but I use it as my pickaxe because it's a full skin. But then there's a mansion on it now that's called Lavish Manor. That is Lavish is a 21 Pilots song, so I just sing it to him the whole time.
Oh, so yeah, I felt something coming with Timmy's like disgust.
He loves it. He goes, I will hope this is in the map forever. So I make him dread getting me back into Fortnite. But then I went to Sad Summer at some point in the middle of that, which is a festival that was kind of like a mini Warped Tour, which is kind of the theme of my albums Beyond My Head. Just because I was like, I went to Sad Summer, I'm happy about it. I'm going to put the headliners behind me because I have a lot of their albums. The Wonder Years has a bunch of acoustic up there because all of theirs are in box sets.
So we've covered
don't fit up there.
We did one main album, and then we've done Wonder Years, and then also, obviously, if you kept up with the podcast,
We have yet
Dan
to do...
Campbell's other project.
Yeah. We have yet to do a Mayday Parade, though. Which is always my, like, hey, I have yet to touch my favorite band yet. But that's still to come. I wanted to throw my opinion in the order of what we're doing these today.
Okay.
And I'm going to go most... album that you could call art the most. Where if you were an argument on if music was art, what it would be the most artful to the least artful.
Timmy's.
So that means we're going to start with TEKKNO.
I think ours would be a toss-up.
No, TEKKNO.
I mean, Dark Side of the Moon blows ours out of the water. As far as like that description goes.
No way, TEKKNO. Have you heard Pump It?
I have heard Pump It.
See, the most
All right,
artful album.
You got me.
Does Dark Side of the Moon have a dot 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 dot? dot? It does not.
But it does have a lady screaming.
It does have a lady screaming.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 4.5.
I don't want to get too into it because I still don't know which one we're doing first.
It's TEKKNO.
Okay, we're doing TEKKNO.
The most artful of the albums.
I wouldn't say it's the most artful.
What do you mean?
Well, for one thing, artful, I don't think is a word.
No, it
it
is.
is. Me and Tristan played a really crappy game that was called like the Artful
Escape,
Escape,
I think.
yeah.
It is crap, but
Okay.
which means that it's a word.
It's not a very good word.
It's not. But if there is any word to describe TEKKNO, it is that.
I'm not sure that would have been the first word I go with.
This is the high concept album of a man named TEKKNO.
This is very highbrow.
Yeah, it's the concept album of my man named TEKKNO, who is a spaceman and has a rave attack, which is also his religion.
Is it a? No, you're messing with us, aren't you? It's not a concept album.
Who also has a train named after him or her, whoever TEKKNO is.
Okay, it's not.
It's not. It kind of is.
He's trying to pull one on us.
The word TEKKNO is spelled probably wrong. I don't know if it is or not.
It's spelled wrong.
Okay. Is brought up quite a bit.
It's spelled like how Tekken is spelled, kind of.
It says, my name is TEKKNO, and then there's a TEKKNO train. And that is what makes it a concept album.
The TEKKNO train, that's a metaphor, though, isn't it? Like, it's gotta be. It's gotta.
This album came out September 16th of 2022. And Electric Callboy as a whole has 3.4 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
I kind of thought they would have more, just because, like, I did watch the music videos at your request, and it's like, you go to them and they all have like 50 million views, so I thought they'd be a little more popular than that.
Yeah, I think maybe just because it's been since 2020.
They got big with that Hypa song.
Yeah, which was an EP before this.
And then they kind of just like dropped Pump It and We Got the Move.
Okay,
like,
possibly.
And then it was like, oh hey, we're just putting an album out.
So I don't know what made me turn this on when I did. I was late to the party, probably by like a whole year, I think, honestly. And I don't know what told me to do it, but I did. I think we got the Moves music video recommended to me, and I was like, oh, I gotta listen to this. And I found the album it was on. Might be what it was. That's what my brain is telling me.
I remember hearing about them when they were formerly Eskimo Callboy, and didn't really get like super into them.
Yeah, I don't know a single Eskimo Callboy song. Other than, I think they played like one or two at a concert that I went to of theirs. But other than that...
But like after the name change, I just didn't like really just keep up with them.
Yeah, I never did. This was my first album I listened to with them. They went through a name change. They have a new, one of their two singers.
Yeah,
because they got rid of... I think it's the cleaner guy. I think the screamer is always...
Oh. Yeah,
to be fair, they both scream.
I did read where like I think his name is Nico.
Yeah.
Like they brought him in the band, and that's.
No, I've seen a handful of interviews where it's just like they were happy about having a new guy, and they felt like it re-energized to write music and stuff again. I don't remember what the first one it was. I think it might have been TEKKNO Train, where they were just like, "Oh, this is stupid and it's great, and I'm happy to make music."
I feel like that's gonna be what this review ends up just being. You can just clip that part. It's stupid. Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem like great guys. I've only heard good things. They kicked out I don't even know what his problems were because I didn't follow the band, but they kicked him out for not getting along with them. So they're in a happier space. But yeah, this album.
TEKKNO.
This one is I did 6 episodes of very highly lyrical, depressing stuff, and it's summertime, and it's time to have a German party metal band.
Yeah.
In the grouping of all the albums we've done so far in this podcast, it's about time. Every time, all the comments were saying, "When are we gonna have German party metal?" And I said, "Episode 7 is the time."
I don't think we have a lot of comments, but
I
don't recall seeing that.
Every one of them. Every video has, "Where is my party metal German music at?"
Was it your mom asking for it?
All of everybody. The world was.
Pretty much only your mom.
The world is waiting for.
I was just seeing random people like, I've never watched this podcast before, but I will when they start covering German party metal. So yeah, it's German party metal, and it's a lot of fun. I think what probably got them some of the popularity that they have recently got is the pretty bonkers music videos that they put to all these, where they like do full costumes and like it's quite fun.
They really go for it.
They're quite fun.
I'll give them that. Like that's. They're not ashamed.
We got the Moves being my introduction, like, and their music video. I was like, oh man, these guys all have the matching cut, and I was like, oh wait, no, they don't always do that. It's just that song. They were still rolling out music videos after finding this one, so TEKKNO Train got more popular after the album came out, and they had a music video shortly after I had listened. Same thing with, I think, Fuckboy just got one too on their last tour they did in the U.S.
Like recently, or
I think I seen them in 2023, so around that time.
This is like their latest album.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
They have not done one since. They did like a tour version of it, but 2 singles since then too. But yeah, it is fun. It's great. I like it a lot. I didn't really even need to list this because I pretty much have every song and when it comes on in my head. This one's pretty addicting to me.
I think that's what's that's like really key to a re-listenable album is just to be like kind of short and concise and to the point. Because like both yours and mine are 31 minutes, and it kind of just feels like the time flies when you listen to it.
Yeah. But every time I finish it, I'm just like, oh man, We Got the Moves is just one more song away. And I just restart it. Because We Got the Moves is great, and I don't know how you cannot move to it, to tell you the truth. It's lots of fun. And it's a lot of what... I drove 4.5 hours to see this band. which is not something I normally do.
Because they're
They're German.
They're German. They don't come to the States like very frequently.
They haven't been big in the States until like last year or so. So like they had no reason to. They hadn't been in the U.S. in 10 years before that tour.
I didn't even know they've been around for that long.
They opened for Attila the first time, so I wouldn't have went to that tour anyway.
That's fine.
But yeah, they hadn't been in the U.S. in 10 years. And I was like, what is the closest one? And it was like festival dates. And I haven't been to a festival, and I kind of wanted to see like the whole show. I was like, what is the closest date? It's 4.5 hours away. I guess I'm going. I was like, I have to see some of these songs live. Like as soon as I heard them, I was like, I need to find a concert because a live setting, We Got the Moves or Techno Train or Spaceman or Hurricane would be fantastic. I need to see it. And I did. And it was great. And it lived up to every expectation I had. I even went alone. You wouldn't even think that would be fun. It was. To say more stuff about other songs. I did not know that Fuckboy was Conquer Divide until that tour. Because Conquer Divide opened for them on that tour. And the girl that sings in it is almost unrecognizable from her music. In this song, where originally it didn't say featuring Conquer Divide, it said featuring her name.
Oh.
And they changed it after the tour. I think after like the music video and everything got filmed. But she was sick on my show, so they didn't even play that song.
That was probably my least favorite from this.
That's
this
honestly
album.
fair. It's almost not even their song.
Yeah, I mean like, so yeah, they do like. There's a surprising amount of features on this. Like that, she was one of them.
Yeah.
Is the dude in Spaceman like singing the German part?
Yeah.
Is he
he's a feature.
Yeah. So like there's a couple features, but yeah, like that song wasn't one of my favorites, but I did enjoy Pump It. We Got the Moves.
Yeah.
Hurricane was a very wild ride.
Hurricane's great.
that was very jarring.
Hurricane's so much fun. They explained it live where the first half of that song is something that Germans called Schlager music. Could be pronouncing that wrong. But they think it's lame, and it is lame. It's like, and they're like, I just needed to make that a song and then make it go crazy.
Yeah, like it's really a tale of two halves with Hurricane.
It turns into a zombie love song at the end of it. Where almost one of the hardest songs I've ever heard, really. Coming off of the lame poppy beginning.
Yeah, what I like about this band is how they fuse their like the 90s Eurodance style with metalcore, deathcore, like whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it works really well, like in Pump It and Hurricane. Sometimes it kind of just feels like they're forcing it a little bit, but like it's still, it's still a fun listen.
Yeah. There are 2 songs on it that are probably 3. Yeah. 3 that are less of the. They're still good songs, but they're not joke songs. Because they purposely didn't want to only be like a joke band.
Like a novelty.
So Mind Reader, Parasite, and Neon are all like actual serious songs. And I don't like Neon that much. Probably my least favorite on it. It's the metalcore or the screaming is all gone. It's just kind of a pop song.
Mind Reader is very catchy.
Yeah.
Like the first time I heard it, I was listening to it in the car on the way home. And just like the chorus, it gets stuck in your head almost immediately.
No, it does. Of the joke songs, I think Arrow of Love is probably my least favorite.
I like Arrow of Love.
It is good. I do like it.
I like their Eurodance on that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have like super strong feelings about techno, but like it's fun for what it is.
I have strong feelings about it because I think it's a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite albums that came out that year, and I didn't listen to it that year. Techno Train's We Got the Moves and Techno Train are my 2 favorites. Techno Train is a great.
Techno Train is very silly.
Yeah.
But like you get my spaghetti ready.
Yeah. Heat up the sausage to dinner for one.
Yeah.
Also, the breakdown is just choo 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 choo. We're riding on a techno train. It's fantastic. It's the best.
I mean, when they go for a theme, they nail it. You know, like Pump It. It's like if you don't have that in your gym workout playlist,
Yeah,
like what are you doing?
And the music video plays along with that.
Like,
Just aggressively lifting weights the entire music video. Timmy, what do you think of TEKKNO?
I thought it was like pretty funny.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I liked it. I don't have super strong feelings over it.
You don't
but
have super strong feelings
no,
about German party metal.
No, not really.
I heard all of our comments that were asking for it.
I don't think there's any. I like
I
the
didn't do that.
spaghetti line a lot.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Probably my favorite ones, most memorable.
And it's
they know how to write a hook. That's for sure. Like like just like looking at your list of songs here. It's like just reading them. I can tell you what the chorus is.
yeah.
Like you know how Spaceman just hits you with that. By the way, that song also reminds me of like the Day Man Night Man thing from It's Always Sunny. Just I don't know if anybody else got that, but like as soon as he said the Spaceman.
This album's great though. I like it a lot. Have fun rating it.
The rating is like I've struggled with this for like literally a whole month. Like I don't know what to rate it because it's like yes, it is fun and it strikes a lot of boxes with me. Like the Eurodance is cool, the metal like it's very catchy, but also I don't know. It's just
What do you mean?
It's so strange and out there that and obviously like a lot of it's played up for comedic effects, which we'll get into. The same could be said about my album, but
Tens all around for the German party metal.
It's a weird album to rate on a scale
It is.
where it's like we've also done, you know, a lot of classic albums, and actually we're doing one this episode. It's like how does this compare to, you know, these other albums that we reviewed? I don't know.
This being the most artful one we've ever covered.
Right.
Yes. I've always thought about the fact that like it'd be hard to rate like a Tenacious D album as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how do you rate a comedic album? I don't even know if I want to call this comedy, which like
Well,
it is.
The thing is, it's
But,
like
at the same
we
time,
have two of these albums this week.
It's so much fun.
Kind of. Like,
Yeah.
you know, comedy albums, sort of.
My brother-in-law sent me a video of him listening to We Got the Moves, like with his phone, just filming the radio and going like this with it.
He I mean you can cut this out if you want, but he commented a lot on the last episode. I went back and just like revisited a little bit, and I saw him. He was in there.
Yeah. No, he gave ratings to everything. I was
Yeah,
really
I
happy.
thought that was super cool.
And then he came over and was talking about everything too, even before listening to our episode. But yeah, no, I was really happy because I kept telling them, I was like, my goal for this is to have like a conversation.
Yeah, that's it. To start a dialogue about the albums.
Even your
Just,
even your aunt.
Yeah, she don't like Rush. She don't like prog.
Late
She was being
addition
so
to
harsh.
the late addition to the talking to me about music. She did then go on to say that she does like Floyd sometimes. I'll probably cut it.
Well,
cut this from it. But yeah,
It's not all prog.
that conversation went on for a little bit. It was fun.
So yeah, a rating. I don't know. I'll just go with like a 7. It was good.
What? You're gonna
But,
upset
like-
all of our German fans.
A 7's really good.
Yeah, 7's good.
We brought this back so that we could get our European viewership back.
A 7 is really good.
The most German way we can.
Like for our ratings, like that's
Talk about techno
I give it
positively.
a 6.5. I like how artful this album was,
Good.
and I like the lines about spaghetti.
I put a gun
I
under
give-
the table.
I got a whole point just for the spaghetti line.
you should have made us like a plate of spaghetti for this album.
No, I should have.
I might have bumped it up more.
I don't even know if I have spaghetti in this house.
What?
I don't know what
Could
to
have had a
do.
theme going on.
I could have had you have the. It would have been a dinner for 3.
Yeah.
So we got a 7, 6.5.
So I was having a hard time rating this as well because I just find it a lot of fun.
It's not easy.
There are songs that I like less than others, but then in the back of my head, when I was trying to come up with a review, I was like, I like this album enough that this is the only thing I'd ever heard from this band, and I drove 4.5 hours to see it by myself. which you would think that you would want to have people with you during this. And, like, even a seated section. Like, I should have not had any fun, and it was one of the most fun times I've had at a concert. So, I'm thinking I'm going to go with a 9, which seems high. But, again, I drove a long time to go see this band.
Spoiler alert, but I think you can just flip our reviews. Well, I don't know what you're going to think of my album, but it's like I'm going to start talking like how you're talking when we get to mine. Calculator messed up. But it is a 7.5.
Yeah.
Which is
very good.
Very, very
That's
good.
probably like
very solid.
third or so. My notes is actually just the track listing this time.
Okay.
I wrote it 20 minutes ago. I wrote these like 2 days ago, and I wrote it on different pages because I thought I was going to take notes. And I was like, I don't think I need notes for this one.
For which one?
What are we doing? Oh, we're doing mine. Okay.
Oh, no. We're doing the second most artful album of this round, which is No Hands by Joey Valence and Brae.
Don't need none. Give Timmy a minute to pull the tracks.
It is almost as artful as TEKKNO, but not quite.
It's pretty artful. I can tell by the album art.
Yeah.
It's very 90s looking, the album art.
This album was released June
This
7th of 2024.
Like a month ago, almost.
Yeah, almost exactly 2 months ago. Joey Valence, and Brae have 3.6 million monthly.
That's shocking.
Listeners.
Because they're like just now getting on to the scene. I'm surprised that they have that many listeners.
Yep.
Like this is their second album. They had one come out in 2023, which I had never heard before.
I had seen that.
But when I discovered this album, I'm like, oh, I need to hear more. So I went and listened to that one too.
They will be in Cleveland in September.
Interesting.
As a side
I've
note,
heard that they are very good live.
Because they don't want to talk to you unless you've seen them live.
Yes, that is true.
I don't know how to artful this up like I did the last one, and I didn't even do that well. I wanted to do it better. Introduce your album.
Okay, well, I mean, you kind of did it for me, but this is like I said, this is a very recent album, but I've had a lot of time to kind of sink my teeth into this because I listened to it when it was getting a lot of groundswell among like the music review sites, and they were like talking about how like surprisingly good this album was, because like when I first saw the album cover, like you guys, I was probably like, well, this is gonna be stupid, like why would I waste my time with this? And then
Star Wars font.
Yeah, and then people started talking about how they're kind of just like a Beastie Boys ripoff, which on the first listen, yes, I was like, okay, they are just kind of ripping off Beastie Boys, but I think there are a little bit of layers to them, like they're not like just doing the Beastie Boys thing. And for me, like we covered Brockhampton a few episodes ago, and these guys are kind of filling that Brockhampton void for me since they broke up. Granted, there's only 2 of them, and as opposed to the however many members Brockhampton has, like 14 or something crazy like that.
I'll break into your introduction that it is very Beastie Boys.
Yes.
But I enjoy this more than Beastie Boys. Not a big Beastie Boys fan, but somehow this is
like it's in the same style.
Yeah, no, it very much is.
But
or like I was even showing a coworker some of the lyrics, and I was like, he was laughing at it. To be fair, but he was just like he wanted to rap along with it, and I was like, it's a Beastie Boys rip off, and he got the flow perfectly. I was like, you did it. That's the song.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't shy away from that. No. I'm pretty sure like Joey Valence has said in interviews like that Beastie Boys is one of his main inspirations in his music, which they say in one of the songs it's all self-produced, like Joey does all the producing himself, which is pretty commendable because the production on the album is very good.
Also, Pack Punch says "So what you want," so
there you go.
That's all you need, even though it's like a throwaway line. It's like that's Beastie Boys line.
Oh well, he also talks about Olivia Rodrigo in that song, so but I don't think they're trying to emulate.
They might.
Hers.
They might. Doughboy / driver's license.
But yeah, I mean, so this album, No Hands, it's also 31 minutes, like techno, and every time I listen to this, like I said in your review, the time just goes by. Like, by the time it gets to John Cena, which is the track before the last one, Omnitrix, I'm like, oh god, it's almost over. Like, where did all the time go? And then, just like you, I'm like, but like, you know, all the songs at the front, I'm like, oh, I didn't want to listen to that again, you know, Pack a Punch, No Hands.
Yeah, I did have quite a bit of fun with this album. I like it quite a bit.
It's so much fun.
Me too.
Um,
I really like the being chillin' line in the John Cena reference to John Cena doing the ad in China.
Yeah, there are so many references on this album that it's like almost impossible to pick up unless you listen to it, you know, over and over and over again.
I think my favorite reference, just because it's like quite a few levels you have to dig deep, is the make you say wow like Leroy Jenkins.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. That's one of my favorite
it's like
lines.
You have to get through quite a few levels of understanding that line to get it.
Yeah, they have like the wow memes and.
I think Bussed's probably the biggest Beastie Boy influence one.
I would agree with that. I mean, it kicks the album off.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you hear, and it's like, yeah, they're going for the Beastie Boys thing.
There's I don't know how to pick apart track by track. It's just a bunch of video game references over Beastie Boys tracks, but then like it changes up quite a bit to where like No Hands has like the really cool sounding record scratching, and it like threw me back to like probably an aggressive inline.
Yeah, No Hands has like a jazzy beat to it, which like a lot of the other songs, like I guess Pack a Punch also has kind of a jazzy beat, but No Hands like specifically has like the saxophone going.
I think No Hands is probably my favorite on this. I really like the beat on it a lot.
I mean no shocker here, but I like every song, but I will say, like, having listened to it probably more than any album this year, there are some songs that kind of wear thin after a while, namely Like a Punk is probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
And then Okay is just okay.
I really like the beat for Okay, but
I like Okay, but it's one of the weaker songs in my opinion.
Yeah, the beat there is actually why I'm like that song. Also, weird side note, I think it's Pack a Punch. For some reason, every time that starts, I get Zipper stuck in my head from
Brockhampton.
Yeah. Like my brain immediately goes to like the monocle line in that song. Every time it starts.
That,
I'm like,
I mean, maybe it's, like subconscious, because like those are two of my favorite songs from those respective albums. But like I guess I just have to listen to them back to back to really like kind of connect the pieces there.
We did a couple of zoo trips in the middle of all of our vacationing here, and once I started listening to these, we went to the Cincinnati Zoo for a day. And I was going around the Cincinnati Zoo with The Baddest stuck in my head.
So I was going to get into that. The Baddest is probably my favorite song of the year, like so far.
I was going around
It's so funny. It's so good.
I was going around the zoo going, "Who's the baddest bitch in this club?"
In case you're curious, it's the only one that has like 1.5 million views.
The Baddest has the most. Yeah, I mean that's not
by like a lot.
It's not shocking. Like it is the best song in the album.
I think they just did a remix for it too.
They did.
Yeah. I didn't listen to it, but I think they did.
It just kind of adds a verse from, I forget who they got to do it, but it's a female singer.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But yeah, the Baddest is great. It has like the Bop It line in it.
Yeah.
The Squilliam, the 1-800 it's a booty call. Like it's just so good. Like
there are a couple of songs that are, like you said, they kind of where like John Cena is probably my least favorite, to tell you the truth. For some reason that one just didn't connect as well as the other ones. Intermission 2 is short, but like also that could be skipped.
I really like Intermission 2. Like I know like it's just really short, but I really enjoy Brae's verse on it a lot.
Yeah, the verses are fine. It's mostly the I don't know,
I don't know.
It's a bit too repetitive for me, and there's not a cool enough beat behind it.
Well, speaking of repetitive and intermission too, they do reuse a couple lines in this album, which I guess you picked up on. I don't know what the intention of that is, but I was like, well, that's kind of like redundant.
I was actually gonna be, when I got into negatives, just in a little bit, was gonna be like my one thing that I could find where I'm like, I don't really need to know that you eat booty with a side of fries twice.
Like they say in Intermission 2 and Omnitrix. Like I don't know if they just forgot like when they recorded like the song they did second. But
the Intermission 2 one is better, so it didn't really.
It is
the other one.
Lots of mention about butts on this album.
There's a lot of booty and butt. I was also going to mention the relatability of the "if you hand me a bagel, I'm gonna eat that shit" line. I was like, that's a good line.
Well, Timmy, what do you think of the next line with the Beyblade? Did you like that one?
I love that.
If you hand me a Beyblade, I'll let it rip.
I was just like,
that's why I like it. Intermission 2 just has like, it's very short and sweet, but like Brae's verse specifically, the first verse is just so jam packed, full of good stuff there.
I think it might be what you need is also repetitive, but there's a cool enough beat behind it that I forgive it.
That's the thing, like, with their lyrics, like, yes, they are childish, but they're backed up by, like, really compelling beats most of the time that it makes up for it.
It's normally funny enough. We're like, I can listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, we mentioned the Beastie Boys, Brockhampton. They also give me, like, Lonely Island vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, like Lazy Sunday specifically.
Wait, yeah. It's like you can tell they're playing it off for laughs, but also like it's, you know, like it's their art form, you know, to go back to the theme of the episode of being artful. But
did you watch the music video for I Think No Hands Has One?
Yes, I've seen
got
it. I've went into the rabbit hole of JVB here.
A Pokemon bedspread.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's just
he spent his last check on Pokemon cards.
Oh, it's relatable.
I think that actually the Omnitrix line gets repeated too. Same songs as well.
I thought it's weird. It's kind of weird to say, but I thought a lot about Timmy when I was listening to this album.
What, Ben 10 and
the Ben 10, the Pokemon Beyblade, like it's all like of our era, kind of like the stuff that we grew up with.
The weird thing is that the video game references aren't as obscure. They're all like Call of Duty and 2K.
Yeah, well, there's a Mario Kart one with John Cena, but I like Danny Brown's verse in Pack-a-Punch.
No, it is good.
He's like. He's got your face with the 2K scan. Yeah. He's feeling like an old Xbox lobby.
There's constant lines that we could go through here.
Yeah, this whole review could just be like how you said with the Electric Callboy, but you could actually do it here. Like, just kind of like it's like, oh, that's a clever line. Like,
it's very artful.
Yes, it is very artful.
Second most artful album we listened to.
I think it's a little more artful.
What?
Than TEKKNO.
But they're from probably here.
So,
I guess maybe
they're from the States. Yeah,
I don't know. We can't say that.
Why not?
We'll get disliked.
We
need
so.
Europeans.
They're the only American group we reviewed this.
That is true.
Round.
Oh yeah.
I think I've said what I need to say.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much hit all my notes. The baddest is, unless something tops it, it's going to be my song of the year. This might. So what I was going to say, I kind of lost my train of thought earlier, but this is like this year's 100 Gex for me.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like I just kind of discover them out of the blue, and it's like, oh well, this is going to be stupid, and then I listen to it, and it's like, oh my god, it's like this changed my life.
Weirdly enough, 100 Gex being probably of the music group the one I go back to probably the most.
Really?
Yeah. I deleted a handful of the songs, but because like I didn't like
it's so short.
I don't like Me and a few of the other ones.
I have 100 Gex or 10,000 Gex. The album is like what 26 minutes long. But I don't know how you can delete.
I have about 20 minutes of it left, and I go back to it every now and again. That and like Movements, I think, are the two I go back to the most.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that. That's good.
But yeah, I do like this. I got stuck by the Pananer.
What?
The Pananer.
Oh.
When me and Rev hang out in here, I move your chair up to here, and I let her.
I see.
Be a maestro. Yeah, Timmy, go ahead.
With what?
Your rating.
Your rating. Or unless you have more to say.
I don't know.
You can go on a big paragraph of all the things you want to talk about if you really wanted to.
I don't have a whole lot to talk about.
I'll timestamp it as Timmy talks.
Okay.
Timmy talks.
They just remind me of like a combination of like Smash Mouth and Brockhampton.
That's a new one.
I mean, they look like Smash Mouth in the cover art. I think that's most of why.
Look really.
Smash Mouth.
It'll look a lot about the thumbnail. It's gonna be good.
Oh, great.
I've already made the thumbnail.
But like, I think they even like use a sound effect that Brockhampton used in Boogie. I think.
Is it the siren that
It's
Tristan
not
hates
the
so
siren.
much?
I heard.
I would have noticed it.
And it sounded like it was something from one of the Brockhampton songs. I forget what it was.
Well, they definitely use the tape rewind thing that
Yeah.
Brockhampton does a lot. I forget what song that's in, but
I don't know. I love this album. I loved all the little references that were in it. I want to listen to it more. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, this is like the surprise hit of the year for like again, it's a group I've never heard of in my life, and now I'm like, you know, a rabid fan.
0.2 million more than even our German party metal.
But yeah, no, I give this a 9. Like I said, it doesn't all hold up. Like on repeated listens, like you do notice the flaws. Like a Punk is kind of like I don't really ever skip songs when I listen to albums in full, but like that one would be a skip for me if I did. And then you know, like the redundant lines. But I mean, other than that, like this is like this is it for me unless something tops it later in the year, which we still have a couple months. But
yeah. This year's a good year for music, though, so you might be saying that too soon.
I do have another, spoiler alert, I have another album from this year for next week. We'll see if I've listened
Spoilers.
to it. I've listened to it a lot already, and I like it, but I don't know if I like it as quite as much as this.
Okay.
But yeah, 9.
Fair enough. But Clancy came out this year.
Who?
What album that's down there? I still haven't categorized and put on the wall yet.
You give it a 7, right, Timmy?
I didn't give it a crap yet.
I know, but I'm just getting. I just didn't want to lose Timmy's rating. Yeah.
Drum roll it.
Yeah.
Go 7.75.
That's very specific.
That is oddly
very specific. I don't remember why I came up with that one.
7.9.
Okay, cool. That's probably the second most reviewed thing on this whole thing.
It's so far so good.
The least artful, by quite a bit of a downturn. It was like TEKKNO and Joey Valence and Dark Side of the Moon, way down.
Of course, one of the most
negative,
critically acclaimed albums of all time for its non-artfulness, for its very lowbrow.
Exactly.
Not very artful.
And the only album that Wizard of Oz makes better.
So yeah, we went on a bit of a journey. Timmy, did you not? You didn't join us for this journey.
It sounds like an interesting.
You should watch the video. It's crazy.
I didn't go that far into the journey because it's been a busy couple days.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch like the whole thing.
I got to where the Munchkins dance, and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
So yeah, for those that don't know, which you didn't know about this.
No, I actually asked my mom earlier, and she didn't know either.
Yeah, apparently, if you play the movie The Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon at the same time, it like syncs up perfectly with each other.
You do have to restart the album and play it again, but yeah.
But cool. Me and Tristan we skimmed through a little bit. Like there's a video on YouTube which kind of does the work for you.
Yeah.
But it's like scary how well it syncs up.
There's a Reddit thread that shows you like the cool moments that are like noticeable. But it's to a video that Warner Brothers had then taken down. So you kind of have to give it a second or two, but it is really cool.
Yeah.
Or like the screaming lady in Great Gig in the Skies when the tornado's happening. And like as soon as she gets knocked out, it's when the music dies. And like as soon as money kicks off is when it becomes a color movie.
Yeah, like when the budget kicks in for the movie.
Like the moment it happens.
That's so interesting.
Basically the moment that the movie becomes color is the moment that Pink Floyd decided they had instruments on the album. And it's really weird that it coincided that way.
The alarm bell is going off when the witch is
Yeah.
showing up with the bike. Like it's so weird how well it works.
And there's later ones where like I was reading through the Reddit thread where it's just like there's like certain lyrics. Where,
I guess money appears again when they get to the castle. Like I didn't see that part in the video, but like
when you restart it.
Yeah.
It's like when the Tin Man talks about not having a heart. There's like a heartbeat in the Pink Floyd album. It's strange stuff.
That's crazy.
You gotta check it out.
Even down to like
it'll blow your mind.
Even down to like there's a part in the beginning of the movie where Dorothy's like balancing on a fence post, and like he says like balancing on the thinnest wave, maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
But it's like it's really weird. And like I guess they've talked to the producer, and it's purely coincidental.
Yeah, all the Pink Floyd members have like claimed that it's BS. Like, but I don't know. Like, it's, when you look at them, you know, concurrently, there is just so much that goes so well together.
So to get into the intro of the album,
we're not reviewing the Dark Side of the Rainbow here, but we're reviewing Dark Side of the Moon, the album, without
this album came out March 1st of 1973, and Pink Floyd as a whole has 19.1 million monthly listeners.
It's a hefty total there.
It quite made me sad because Rush has 4 million.
I mean, that's just kind of Rush, right?
Yeah.
Like the people who know, you know what I mean? Like,
and I can't say that I'm helping in any way, shape, or form because I'm not a monthly listener to either. So just made me sad that Rush was so much further down.
How do they calculate that? Like, do you just have to listen to one song
I think
per
so.
month?
I think it's just people that are paying attention to the group. To tell you the truth, I don't know.
You fall off the list if you don't listen to one song.
Yeah, I think so. But also, it's just Spotify that does this too.
Yeah, like it's not.
So like I don't know Apple Music.
It is a pull in Apple Music.
YouTube,
or like their YouTube views.
YouTube does total views, even including videos. So like, that's all time. But yeah, I don't think Pink Floyd's done anything in quite some time. So still having 19 million monthly listeners is kind of a lot. People still paying
them
attention
as a band,
to Pink Floyd.
but didn't Roger Waters trying to redo this album?
It's not Pink Floyd anymore. I don't think. It's just Roger Waters.
And people don't like Roger Waters. He's kind of a jerk.
Me either.
I don't know any of the lore behind the band members.
Well, you know the stuff about Sid though. We covered "Wish You Were Here" in the past, and that album's all about their former singer Sid Barrett.
Yeah, I know about that guy, but that's about it.
Yeah. But I don't know, just people in the general don't like Roger Waters just because he's kind of a prick.
Fun. Yeah, I don't know much of anything about Pink Floyd other than what you guys have made me listen to, other than Another Brick in the Wall and Hey You. That's my entire experience.
That's most people.
Yeah.
If you want to introduce, go right ahead. Talk about your album a little bit.
I don't know much about it.
Okay, fair enough.
This album
We're
is
just like, hey.
Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Whoa. Hey, did you know if you watched the...
No, I didn't. Please tell me about that.
I had a guy at a work of mine where I was explaining to him that I don't really like old music. He was like, oh, well, of all the old music, you should give Dark Side of the Moon a chance. And this guy liked metal music, and I don't understand why he recommended this to me. I don't know why this is the one.
Do you still work with this guy? Because I remember, okay, I was going to say, I remember you telling me about that like years ago, like how he wanted you to listen to this album.
Yeah, and I never did. And I might have started it and went like, yeah, I'm okay.
Did you ever message him like to be like, hey, I finally listened to it?
He better listen to the podcast.
He got his wish. You listened to it.
Yeah, I did. Timmy made me do it, though.
Yeah, I did.
Brandon, go ahead.
Okay.
If Timmy doesn't have anything.
As far as introductions, I don't have anything.
I'll admit I'm a little scared to review this album because it is such a classic. Like, it's considered one of the greatest albums of all time. And we previously covered "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, which I really liked. I gave it a 10. It was my first 10.
I also gave it a 10.
You did.
I've given 4 or 5 10s. That was one of them. That was the first. So I was like, oh, Dark Side of the Moon. Like, this is gonna be great. I had quite a hard time getting into it. Like, it just wasn't as easily as accessible as "Wish You Were Here" to me. I still enjoyed it. I think this is one of those albums that's like you need to listen to it over and over, like across a very extended period of time to get
While
it.
also watching Wizard of Oz.
Because the Wizard of Oz thing helped. I'll be honest. The Wizard of Oz like maybe bumped it up a rating. No, not really. But like, Wish You Were Here. I don't know. Just something about it was like so immediate. Whereas like I just got it, and this I still don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like this album is pretty underwhelming.
Like I guess it's just because it has so much hype around it.
Yeah.
It was never like, gonna live up to the hype. Like when you kind of when you reminded me of when you had to listen to Thriller, where it's like, oh, Thriller, this is the greatest selling album of all time, and then it's like not that great as an album.
It's like a handful of singles.
Decent songs, like a handful of singles.
It has like the legendary songs, and then.
I would go out on a limb to say that Michael Jackson probably has better albums.
Yeah,
I've heard that sentiment from.
Not that I've explored, but like I don't think Thriller as a package is.
I think I haven't listened to it in total, but like I've seen people online say that like Bad is a better album, like all the way through.
I think I've listened to Bad all the way through, and it just has like way better songs like all the way through the album. It doesn't have
Girl Is Mine.
Yeah, that awful song.
Yeah, but anyway, to get back on track here, Dark Side of the Moon is just very abstract.
Yeah.
Whereas Wish You Were Here, it kind of like once you know the stuff about their former singer Sid, it makes sense like how it's telling the story about him. I don't know what they're really talking about in this album.
I don't either.
To be honest with you.
I tried to briefly
Time
look it
and
up
money
before I came here.
Lady screaming.
And I didn't see what it was like about. I don't know what the theme is. In listening to it, it just seemed like a bunch of random things, vaguely about like greed or something.
Yeah. So like I don't get me wrong. I did enjoy my time with the album. I don't dislike it, but it just wasn't as impactful as Wish You Were Here was to me.
Yeah.
But there are some really good moments on this. Like, I've heard Money before, and I was kind of hoping the album would be more like that song, because that's one of the more accessible tracks on this album.
Yeah.
It has the bass line in it, and the cash register going, and it's not so abstract or just instrumental. Like, it isn't like the second or third song on this album just like an instrumental on the run.
Let's be real for a second. Speak to Me is instrumental. On the Run is instrumental. Great Gig in the Sky is pretty much instrumental. Just the lady screaming. Any Color You Like is also instrumental.
Right. Okay. So that.
Eclipse is like 2 minutes long. You can almost call it that, but it's not technically.
Which Wish You Were Here has its long stretches of instrumentals, but
the first 8 minutes of that album.
Yeah, like so like it's nothing new, but
I wouldn't say I hinted to it, but I wouldn't say any music actually starts in this album until like 23 minutes in.
I just want to make clear, I like instrumental music. I don't dislike it.
I also really like instrumental music.
But what all I was saying was that like I wanted more tracks to be like Money.
Yeah. I like instrumental music that doesn't put me to sleep. I don't know when to interject here. I didn't like this.
I didn't figure you would. I did. You didn't like Wish You Were Here. You probably weren't gonna like this.
Yeah. I went back and looked at my review for that. I gave it a 3.5, and I also said it put me to sleep. But in the extra month that we had, I decided to do some little bit of extra credit, where I listened to Wish You Were Here again. I still don't get it.
I thought about doing that to compare them, but I thought maybe I would like just confuse the two. If I
Wish You Were Here is better.
It is better.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't understand why this one gets the praise it gets.
I don't either, honestly. Like,
to just all my European talk of how we needed to convince our European fans again. I didn't like this album.
Yeah, you're about to get like. If anybody finds this video, you're about to get.
I don't get it.
I don't really get it either. But
why is this like number 7 on every top album list ever? Why is it in the top 10?
I just feel like there's like some kind of mystery about it. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I haven't fully unpacked it. I haven't had that aha moment with this album that I guess everybody else seems to have.
Yeah.
Time and money are the only two redeeming qualities on this album.
Time's great, except I have to bring this up. Every time Time comes on, I have to turn the volume down.
That's fair.
I cannot.
The alarms and
I
stuff.
cannot do the bells and whistles at the beginning. It like. I have my alarm when I wake up in the morning as wind chimes. I've had it for years.
You should have it as time. But
It's basically that. So when I heard Time, I was like, I went into like a panic, like, oh god, like
it's time to wake up.
Yeah. So literally every time I listen to it, I have to turn the volume down, which is a shame because Time is probably my favorite track on the album when it actually like kicks in.
Yeah. Like I think like 2.5 minutes in.
It's a long intro.
Yeah.
This whole album.
It's a very long intro.
I even want to say that Breathe isn't really like it's just there.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say music starts until Time and 2.5 minutes into it. And you're 4 songs into what is considered one of the best albums ever, and I just don't get it.
To be fair, Speak to Me is just kind of like an amalgamation of all the songs that you hear on it. Like you hear the cash register, you hear the woman screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a clock ticking.
Yeah. Like it's just like a quick. It's a very quick summary of the album.
Almost every time that I started this album, I thought I didn't start it.
Because Speak to Me is very quiet. Yeah, I had that same thought too. I would press play and I had to check. Like, oh, is this actually playing? You don't get that with my album or your.
No. My album goes right at the beginning, and then yours starts with like.
Never been a sucker. Yeah.
I want to get it. I don't. And like, Grey Gig in the Sky is annoying. I don't understand why they need a 4.5 minute track of a lady screaming.
There's got to be something to it, right? Like, there's something we're missing to that.
That
song specifically.
I guess the screaming is like technically on a technical level, probably talented, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But just all the. I just don't think I like Pink Floyd.
I mean,
listening to 2 albums and it just
you don't like older music
being put to
general,
sleep.
It's not for everyone.
I mean, apparently it is because it's
like every top 10 list.
Yeah.
I don't know why this one is.
Wish You Were Here is actually better.
Yeah.
Like on every level.
It really
and that's coming from someone that didn't even like Wish You Were Here.
Even the instrumentals on that album, like the first 8 minutes, are better than the first 15 on this.
I think it's just because the album art is really cool.
It is. It's very
Maybe.
iconic.
And super iconic.
Yeah, the thumbnail that I made for it, also really iconic.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know how I'm feeling about the thumbnails recently.
I don't know. I'm scared.
I don't know if our view count has went down because of the thumbnails.
No, they're great.
But I gotta, seeing Timmy in a dress last week was not.
That's my favorite thing I've done since starting this.
I knew that was gonna be coming.
It's got me like worried to pick albums now. Like, what's he gonna do?
I'm not gonna do anything.
Although I did like your thing of like putting you in the window.
You're in the picture of Rush.
Yeah. I like it when it's like subtle like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about the.
I can't put Timmy subtly on an album cover that's just a female. He's got to be the face. I would say testing making thumbnails for these. I actually haven't made mine yet, but I one of my versions of the no hands one was to have you with the guys.
Just hanging out with them.
Yeah.
See, I would like that. That'd be cool.
But yeah. I like my thumbnails. I'm having a lot of fun with them.
The video with the most views doesn't have any of us in it. I don't know if that's like.
That might be.
No, that's true. I should have made Chapel Row and everybody. Go back to Dark Side of the Moon, I guess.
Yeah. We kind of went on a tangent there. That's probably gonna get cut out.
I don't know when to. I don't know.
I don't know how to rate this either because. I've said this about a couple albums that we've reviewed where it's like, I wish I had more time with this. I had a month of this album.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how to feel about it.
Like, even the later, So if you cut off from Money, this last 4 songs are boring and way too long. And Brain Damage says the lunatics in the grass way too much. And Eclipse kind of does the same thing but different words. Just it's repetitive.
I would agree with you there because...
I do like where he starts singing about the title of the album. Like, it doesn't sound bad, but it still like wants me to go to sleep.
The last 4 tracks do kind of bleed into each other.
And then when you
I guess just because money is so different.
when you take the first half as well, Speak to Me, Breathe, In the Air, and On the Run, I also could completely cut out. And the first half of Time. Because time wastes my time, and with it starting.
I really wish it didn't start the way that it starts, because it is my favorite song on this album.
If
I think it would be better if it was just like a ticking clock or something. It doesn't need to be 40 alarms going.
Literally, like if I could just get an edit of this album that removed the bells, I'd probably like it way better.
That was my Boogie review. Yeah, I just when you do that, how I'm writing on this and nobody can see it but you guys, but
you're basically removing like
I was gonna
80% of the album.
The last half is the majority of the album, like that boring bit that could come or go. Like this song's 7 minutes long. I think this song's like 4.5. This one's like long too. Clips is like 2.5. So like whatever.
Yeah.
Is Time or Money the most? I'm guess assuming it's one of them.
Yeah, Time has the most listens. Money has the second most.
And if you look at this as
Breathe has
what's
the
supposed to be the best album ever, and you look at the view counts, it doesn't portray that at all.
Yeah.
It's basically the 2 songs that I'm pointing out as like actually okay.
Like how.
Yeah,
Kind of like how like a thriller would be.
Yeah,
it's like
but
the big songs.
like this album is basically just like 3 songs.
But also, this isn't on best singles of all time list. This
Right,
is on
yeah,
best album.
it's best like album to listen to.
And when I can cut it up, because I hate this. This is an annoying song.
He crossed out the Great Eastern Sky, by the way.
It's annoying.
I completely understand.
You got about 13 minutes of a 43-minute long album that I can stand. And I don't want to project my hate to you guys.
No,
I just don't get this.
I want to like this album more, but there's honestly just not a lot to like.
Yeah, I really want to like this album because both you and I really enjoy Wish You Were Here, and I was kind of just hoping for more of that, which I guess it is like on a surface level, but it's also not that.
Yeah, it just
like
feels
even
a
like
lot
the
of build-up that doesn't really go anywhere.
Right.
And like Wish You Were Here,
Well,
in instance, does build up to like a big like sound of like saying Shine Bright You Crazy Diamond.
Yeah.
And like it builds to something. I still don't really like that album.
I will say it does build up to where he starts talking about like the title, like the Dark Side of the Moon. Like I think that's kind of
that is a highlight of the last half.
That's like the kind of the crescendo.
I just feel like that isn't like enough payoff for all the build-up.
Right. Yeah. No. I hear you on that one. Like. Yeah. Like I kind of do wish I went back to Wish You Were Here just so I could
I did.
really compare them.
I'd probably rate that higher than I did, but not by much. Maybe a 4 now. When I did it at 3.5 before, but like still, I'm curious if you ever make me listen to The Wall, which I don't know. I think it's long.
I might.
But
The Wall's more like mainstream, I guess you would say. Like, I think there is more songs like Money on that.
Or like I know Hey You and Another Brick in the Wall, and I like Another Brick in the Wall.
Comfortably Numb.
I will say.
I love that one.
I will say I probably like Korn's version.
I haven't heard that.
But
I think The Wall also has like The Wall has like a whole ass like movie.
Yeah.
Which sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so does this one. It's Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz made this album much cooler than it is. But when you take that and be like, oh, it fits to a movie, movies have a lot of downtime. And so does this.
Yeah.
Or like, it kind of pulled out to me how long it takes for like an actual beat to kick in. Because it doesn't really start until Time. Which is 17 minutes into the movie and the album. I don't know. I just don't get this at all.
I think, didn't you mention in Wish You Were Here that's like, you feel like someone has to be on drugs to enjoy this?
Yes, I did say that.
I don't think that's true for Wish You Were Here. I kind of think it's true for this album.
Yeah, I think that would make.
Because it's like I don't do drugs, but I could see where someone that did would like really appreciate this album more than us.
Yeah, that's probably true. And
That's probably how the Wizard of Oz thing even came to be.
Yeah.
It was some guy was.
if you see the first comment or maybe the second in that video,
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
I want to meet the stoner that had both of these playing at
the
the same
the
time.
first one to do this.
But that made it cooler. I didn't like this. I'm gonna go like a 1.5.
Ouch.
I understand.
You're gonna get killed.
I know.
If
I don't get it.
if people like.
Why
see
is this? Why is this the album?
It feels like we're missing something.
Pink Floyd. I haven't listened to
make
one of the
this
two I'm
quick.
about to mention. Have two better albums.
Yeah.
Even the one band. Not that I would put them on any top lists, but I don't get it at all. And that's where I'm at. I wish I did.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I said, your album was hard to rate, but this is like on another level because it's like.
This one's hard to rate because we're gonna get killed.
But I liked it more than you did is the problem. But it's like also I didn't really like it like that much. So, but I feel like I should have.
Liking an album from 1973 more than me is probably not a rare thing.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but like I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like it more,
Same.
more than I did.
I don't want to put bad reviews of like all-time great albums to everybody else on the internet. But here we are.
I'll just say this: if "Wish You Were Here" is a 10 for me, this is like a 6. So
I get that too.
I'll just say that, and that'll be it for my rating.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was also going to give this a 6.
Next, we're on the same Pink Floyd wavelength.
I like it, but not like
You guys have to
a
rate
lot.
the other albums the same as
exact
well.
same.
Yeah.
Whatever album it is with the two guys facing each other.
That's "Wish You Were Here."
Yeah.
No, the two statue men.
Oh.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
So, 4.5.
I did like that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I
mean-
think that might even be better than what we ended up with.
Maybe
Sure.
because we also had didn't we have Ty and Wade reviewing that too?
Yeah.
And that they brought
They
the
went
average
harder
down.
than I did.
Because that's actually impressive if it got a higher score since we both gave it a 10.
Yeah.
The
The
other
other-
three of
the
you
other
guys
ones-
really drug it down.
It was a 3.5, a 4, and a 1, I think, were the other reviews for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to bump up your "Wish You Were Here." I mean, we've never done that. We never like go back.
I still
and
want to.
change a score, but
Yeah,
I
would
keep
like to,
keep
see
wanting
what
to
the
re-review.
total is.
Re-reviewing old stuff would be fun.
didn't I sent the spreadsheet recently, though. I guess I can look at it.
I have a screenshot of it, but it's up there.
Okay.
When did we review "Wish You Were Here"? Oh, there it is.
That's a
No,
while ago.
"Wish You Were Here" got a 5.9.
Okay.
I'm curious, like, what some of our older reviews would be if it's just like
The three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
our scores.
No, I keep trying to pitch re-reviewing old stuff.
I think mine would be better because Ty would always give mine a 1,
Nah.
Yeah, same.
like every time.
Yeah, she likes what she likes. Nothing else.
Well, yeah, I think that about wraps up. Aside from the
picks
next
and things.
episode's albums.
Yeah, if you guys want to go.
Should I? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go first because I kind of alluded to it. It's another 2024 album.
Clancy.
It is also no, it is. Would you call 21 Pilots hip hop? You probably wouldn't, but
I would.
it's another hip hop album, which I've been on a bit of a kick here recently. I did Brockhampton, Joey Valence, but this one is more of a long time artist in the hip hop genre. But he just dropped an album this year, and I think it's probably one of his best. But it is Samurai by Lupe Fiasco.
Okay. I know the name.
The thing is he's kind of like flown under the radar a bit. Like he's popular, but like
I definitely know the name.
he had a song like on Madden.
Okay.
07.
Yeah. That's around the time I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the
So
name.
you might have heard the song. One of his most famous songs is like on an album that everybody hates
That's good.
because it was like very corporate. You know, like one of those albums.
Yeah.
The record company made him make it. Anyway, yeah. So it's Samurai, Lupe Fiasco.
This is
I don't
the
know if you guys
first.
are having like a stare down a bit.
So this is the first time that I actually don't know what I'm picking.
Oh, do you want Timmy to
No,
go first
I normally
so you can stall?
No, I think I got it, but I had like 5 or 6 in my head, and then like even Rev picked one out the other day, and I was like, oh, I made a rule where I was gonna have to pick. I'm not doing that. I think I'm gonna go with American Idiot by Green Day.
Hey, nice. I know why you're picking that.
A concert coming up.
You're right, yeah.
And we would actually see it played in full the Thursday before we record.
Nice. We are going to that, right?
I want to. That's for sure.
Did you buy the tickets?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, let me know when you, because I would want to go to that.
So we will be seeing this one in full a couple days before we actually sit down and review it. So I think that'd be cool. But also, the conservative side of the world is mad at them again. So
yeah,
they're a little relevant right now.
Like, I mean, they've missed the point. Well, what else is new? They missed the point. But, it's Green. They've been around, 30 years?
Since in 3 weeks, it'll probably be forgot about in the media cycle. They changed the lyrics to American Idiot that I'm not a part of your MAGA agenda.
I saw that.
And when I seen them in 2017, they did the same thing. This isn't new. They've done it for 8 years.
It's like them not getting Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. It's like, you guys do realize this is an album that hates on the Bush administration, right? You do get that? Or like, that Rage Against the Machine is an anti-cop thing, but here we go playing it at the cop rally. But yeah, it's a little relevant and we're about to see it. I think it might be the oldest album I've ever picked. It's 20 years old.
Maybe.
Wow.
Which isn't old.
Stop making us feel old.
Came out in 2004.
I remember listening to that on my CD player.
Yep. That's also might be the most relevant one I've ever picked too. Like ones that I actually think you guys have heard.
Because every week my family asks me, what do we listen to? Oh, you won't know mine and Tristan's. But no. Timmy picked Floyd. He picked Billie Eilish.
Some crap.
Wow.
Yeesh. Well,
Dark Side of the Moon's
with that said, Timmy, what do you got in store for us?
Well, I want to pick something more summer vibes, like you guys did.
Oh, you're around late, but okay.
Honestly, the way that we did this might be why I don't like this as much as I do.
I was also thinking that,
because we had
much funner than this.
Yeah, we had two kind of like party summer vibes, and then
I didn't know we were doing a theme at the time.
If we were to do a gimmick around this, albums that put me to bed, right there.
Anyway, my album.
You're gonna get killed.
Good.
I don't even know if this part will make it in. But...
It probably will. I like the nonsense at the end.
Okay, my album is Astro Lounge by Smash Mouth.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Smash Mouth reference. It comes back.
Yeah.
Is okay? Just tell me now. Is that the one with All Star?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Why would I pick anything?
Well, because they have other albums. Like,
yeah,
what? They do.
They. Right? They do, don't they?
No. I feel so official now.
Yeah, Walking on the Sun's not on
what?
Astro Lounge.
That's strange.
So, there you go.
I just noticed they have a song called Sorry About Your Penis.
Can't wait to talk about that one.
Is that on this album?
No, that's on the
Dog,
album.
we got to change your album. Let's listen to that one.
Someone else will have to pick it.
I want to listen to Sorry About Your Penis.
Well, I can't think of a better way to wrap up the episode.
Sorry About Your Penis.
Yeah, every time I do that, I almost mistake it with Downfall of Us All's intro.
Yeah, I can see how you, yeah.
Like every time. Where I'm like, I know I'm going to make that stupid sound in the podcast, but I better not do A Day to Remember. But, yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching.
Yes, live life like it's double XP weekend.
These are just opinions.
Live, laugh, love.
I particularly apparently have really bad music taste.
We don't get it, okay?
Bye.
Goodbye.